Well, I got 6 more books back from CGC. The reason it's 6 is because I did a couple pre-screens and I thought 6 of the books did not qualify for a 9.8. So I'm like, they're good enough still to submit. So we don't need to do a pre-screen. Let's just send them in and see what grade they get. So let me get it unboxed here. And by the way, the box is different. I don't know what this is. Even with the 6 books, they used to send a different box. This is weird. Stuff's moving around in there a little bit too much. I've been a little disappointed with the shipping standards by CGC lately, but hopefully the books are fine. So let me get it unboxed here and we'll find out. All right, let's do a little bit of McFarlane first. I turned the main overhead light off in here because the glare was, for some reason, seemed worse today than usual. I don't know why. I hope it's not too dark, but from what I can tell looking at the camera, it definitely looks better, at least from this perspective. So hopefully it works for you guys as well. So Spider-Man 311, Mysterio appearance, Todd McFarlane during his run with Amazing Spider-Man. This is the newsstand version. I paid a total of $19, including taxes and shipping for this book. And yeah, I'm just hoping he gets a 9.4. Sometimes when I buy these books, they look better online than when they come in person. This one had some problems that I could not fix, but I wanted to submit it anyway because it is a newsstand. It's not, probably doesn't make dollars and cents to do it, but yeah, I mean, why not? It's McFarlane. It's going to have some value to it. So what does CGC think of this Amazing Spider-Man 311? Started off to a weird start because I had that as like, well, I had it as a borderline 9.4, 9.6. It's a strong 9.4. But yeah, I mean, I didn't have to do too much to it. I just thought it had a defect somewhere on there. It kept it from getting the 9.8, and I don't see it as we sit right here, but could we have Loose Larry today? Because there are 4 nicer books than that one as far as defects go in the submission. Let's see what happens. Okay, we got another McFarlane 323. This is getting late in his run. It was either after this issue or a couple issues later that he did not work on Amazing Spider-Man for a couple issues, or was it one? I don't remember. But yeah, this is late in his run. Newsstands are getting pretty hard to come by and ultra high grade at this point. So this one is a little bit hard to find in a 9.6, 9.8. For a 1989 book. I paid $21 for this one, total, shipping, taxes, everything. It was about on par with the last one, so I'm guessing it's about 9.4. Once again, is what I have on this book, but let's see what Larry thinks about this book. Okay, 9.6, off-white to white. That does not surprise me. I do remember this book had some issues with some, that might have kept it from getting the 9.8. If he was going to go 9.8, maybe there was a little bit of maybe tanning on the cover or something that held us back. That's okay. It's still a grade better than I was expecting and hoping for, so that is all good by me. All right, so we'll definitely take a 9.6 on that gorgeous copy with Captain America of Amazing Spider-Man 323. Now we're getting to some bigger books here. I think this book was hot for a minute, or it is hot, I'm not sure. I think Madam Web is in a movie. I don't watch the movies. I never have. I think I watched the first Spider-Man, and I have not watched them. Well, okay, I watched an X-Men or 2. But we're talking 20 years ago, whenever they were first coming out. I probably should catch up, right? I mean, I have this as a 9.2. This was the most defect-ridden book of all of them. I didn't put any notes on it, but I only paid about $60 for it. It was not that expensive considering it was high grade. So I'd be very happy. I don't know if I'll make a ton of money or any money at all, but I would definitely take a 9.2 in this gorgeous copy of Amazing Spider-Man 210. So let's just go ahead and see. What grade did we get? Wow. Wow. Man. That is the most defect book of all of them. So if that got a 9.6, is that going to be our lowest grade? That's kind of crazy. I mean, I would be ecstatic to get the 9.4 on that book. But once again, we got a really, I don't know, man. Are there some defects on this book that are just common? And once again, I wish I had made better notes, but I mean, it looks great. It's a nice looking book. Looks like the presser did a very good job, whoever that might be. Yeah, beautiful book. 9.6. It's not a PC book or anything like that. I just thought it was cool. Saw a good price and I bought it. So yeah, probably going to be selling that one. Now we're getting to another big book. Avengers 196, which I've featured this book quite a few times on this channel. Whenever I get a good price on it, I do pick it up. You can still get good deals on high-grade copies for relatively inexpensively. I paid $77 shipped, taxes, everything included. That's pretty good. Okay, this one I have is a 9.2 as well. It's very similar to the Madame Web book. You know, a little bit nicer though. So I would expect it to get, I actually had it as a borderline 9.2, 9.4. So there's a ding to the top of the spine that I had written down here. I don't know if it shows up on camera. You can kind of see it right there. See that? Right there, the way that looks. So that caps this, I think. I've had some weird looking spines that got 9.6s before, but that I think is a 9.2 spine. There's a little tiny crease associated with it as well right there, and that's why I have it as a 9.2. I would all day give this a 9.2. A very nice 9.2. If you don't look at that, it's a 9.8. Otherwise, I mean, it is. That's it. I mean, that's the reason it's 9.2 right there. So let's just see. What does the grader think? Right on the money. Okay, so that crease definitely, that damage right there capped us at 9.2. And I think the grader would not be doing his job very well if he gave me higher than 9.4 in this book. But other than that, man, holy cow. This book is just tremendous otherwise. So be very happy to get the 9.2 on this book, and I'll be selling that one as well. 2 more books left. Let's knock them out here. We got First Gambit, Uncanny X-Men 266. Beautiful book, great cover. Everybody loves it, except for the pants. It's a really cool cover. This is the second nice book I had in the batch. I had it as a strong 9.4. I bought it as a 9.2 slab, got a really good deal on it. And so I was hoping to bump it up to 9.6 or 8, but when I got it in, now I'm just hoping for the 9.4. So let's see. I've had a lot of good luck on this book, so let's see what CGC thinks. Still continuing our run of good luck on this book. I actually have a 9.8 copy for sale already right now, and white pages as well. Very, very, very cool. So, last book. Now this is not the biggest book of the batch, but it is my favorite by far book of the batch. I have a handful, a couple, 3, 9, 6 copies already. Been trying forever to get a 9.8 on this book. Forever! I mean, you have no idea how many copies of this book I've purchased, and it's actually pretty hard to find in high grade. There's not that many out there. So, this is not a 9.8. While I did actually have it listed as the nicest book I had in this batch, I don't think there's any chance of getting the 9.8. It's newsstand, and check out the price. The normal ones, I'm looking over there at my other copy, are 75 cents. This is the Canadian price variant. A lot harder, from what I understand, to find than the regular American copies or whatever. You know what? They didn't put Canadian price variant on there. And I know I submitted it as a Canadian price variant. That is annoying. I mean, I guess I can still sell it as a Canadian price. I guess I gotta send that in as a reholder. So I had it as a 9.6. Pretty, not right in the middle. It's not borderline 9.69. It's a solid 9.6 though. And I only paid $34, everything included, for this book. So I'm actually hoping for the 9.6 on this book. So let's see what we got. Okay, we got the 9.6. That's exactly what I wanted. I had a note on here. There was a slight little small stain to the middle somewhere on here. Tiniest little stain in the... It's almost not even worth mentioning. I don't see it now. But it's on there somewhere. Maybe just a dot. And that probably is what held us back from the 9.8. But this is the nicest book in the batch, and it was not one of the 2 9.8. So this grader was kind of all over the place on this one. which is fine. I mean, he gave me the 9.8 on at least one of the bigger books, you know? And he gave me the 9.6 on the 210, the ASM 210. So overall, very happy with the submission. I got the grade I wanted on this one. Basically, every other grade was what I wanted or higher. So I'm not going to argue with this one. It's another successful submission. Thanks for watching. Stay nerdy, and I will see you in the next video.